I'm Grace Torie, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Torie, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's your girl. I'm back. If you're new here, my name's Grace Torie. If you're not new here, what up? Good to see you. I'm kind of excited about this episode. I say that every single episode, but there's just a lot of excitement going around. But I'm specifically excited for this episode because we are going to be talking about how to make friends, specifically as a woman in your 20s. So as you guys know, when I graduated back in May of 2022, most of my friends did move away. I do have a couple left here and there, but most of them are planning to move away if they haven't already. So I've been in a season of just kind of like preparing for that, and also kind of like trying to make new friends in the city that aren't planning on going anywhere, because you can never have too many friends. And it's kind of lonely since most of my friends did move away. Those select few that I have, if they're like busy, then I'm kind of out of luck. Like, I don't know. And a lot of them are also back home where I'm like originally from, an hour away. So it's not like I can just text them and be like, hey, let's go get ice cream. Like, it doesn't work like that because they're an hour away. So I have been in a season of trying to make new friends. Now that it is a little bit warmer out, I feel more comfortable getting out of my cocoon. She's leaving her seasonal depression era and entering her social butterfly era. So that is what I've been doing. I'm just going to be talking about all the things I have done in the past, as well as things that I'm doing now to make more friends and expand my social circle. So if you've been struggling to make friends, I am actually not the greatest at talking to new people. I have social anxiety for the most part. So if you also struggle, then stick around because we can talk about this together, get over our nerves together, and become social girlies together. She is a social elite. Before we jump into that, of course, life updates. Your girl is on her second round of antibiotics. As you can tell, I probably sound better than I have in the past. I think my last episode, my voice was like totally gone. It was going in and out. So I don't have that issue anymore. I think we're on the upturn. Update, they did find something wrong with my, how they took like a bunch of my blood and were like, yo, we're gonna see if something's messed up with your hormones. They found something finally after 3 years of them taking my blood. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. We don't really know anything else at this point. I have my first doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I'm just really excited to find out what is wrong with me, because I'm tired of feeling icky, and I'm tired of it kind of ruining my life and getting in the way of doing things like going out and making friends. So yeah, there is hope on the horizon. What else in terms of life updates? UK beat Auburn yesterday. That was pretty cool, pretty fun, pretty fresh. We're not the greatest this year at basketball, so cool to still beat Auburn. Good for us. Love that for us. I think we beat Florida too, so like we're not doing too terrible. But yeah, good for us. What else? I don't know. I feel like something major happened and I'm just like forgetting to tell you. Oh, I was on Vibin' with Vi's podcast. We filmed a podcast episode on Friday night, so that'll be up the beginning of March, and then I'm gonna have her guest on the podcast for sometime in the middle of March. So I'm really, really excited for that. That was so much fun. I'm excited to have more guests on the podcast. So if you know of someone that you think will be a good guest for the podcast, essentially, don't be afraid to tell me, because this year is going to be our year of guests and expanding our minds with people who like are actually expertise in their field, and just getting to know other people. And it's going to be less solo episodes, more collaborations. So I'm really, really excited for that. And I'm excited to start with Violet. We have so much in common that I didn't even realize. So it was so much fun, and I can't wait for you guys to hear that. I think other than that, I'm just really happy that the weather's a little bit nicer. I did go see Moondance yesterday. I still feel awful, and whatever is wrong with me makes me like really lightheaded all the time, so I couldn't even ride, but I literally fell asleep on top of her. If you don't know who Maydanth is, she's my horse. Fell asleep on top of her, and then she fell asleep with me on top of her, which is not the safest thing. Don't do it, kids. I've had Maydanth since I was 12. That's the only reason I like trust her enough to do this. I fell asleep on top of her, and then when I woke up, she was asleep, so I spooked her because I guess she forgot I was like on her back, and so it was very terrifying for about 0.2 seconds, and then she realized I was still on top of her, and she just got really annoyed with me that I spooked her. So that was fun and fresh, but that's pretty much it. I feel like that's all that's happening over here. Not too much. Just been trying to get healthier and trying to figure out what's going on and trying to be as normal as I possibly can while still taking care of myself, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to overexert myself, but I also don't want to just taking my B-roll while I talk. I also don't want to like hurt myself, but like hurt anything else. I don't know. I don't want to disrupt my life or like not perform as much as I usually do with work or podcasting or anything. So it's really stressful, but I'm working on it. Also, update on my acne. I know you guys I haven't talked about this in a minute, but my acne's better. I've been using Differin face wash. Differin has been my A1 day one since I was literally like 13. So if you're struggling, Differin gets you, girl. Like, I feel so much more confident. But yeah, I think that's it for life updates. Let's jump on in to the podcast episode. How to make friends. The very first thing that I suggest is go to the bar or to parties or whatever with the friends that you do have, like your one friend or whatever who you're rocking with at the time, and then talk to other people and ask for people's snap that you vibe with or their phone number or whatever you want to do. I know it sounds kind of silly, but it is a good way to meet other girls. Like, just meet them in the bathroom. If you are someone who enjoys drinking and like goes out and does that from time to time, even if you don't enjoy drinking, you can still do it. I just do it after like a Truly because I have social anxiety, so this helps me like loosen up and be more courageous when talking to people. So yeah, this is a fun way to meet people your age, and I promise you, if you are a girl and you go into the bathroom, another girl you are going to click with, because everyone just tells everyone they're gorgeous and beautiful and pretty, and going into the bathroom with a bunch of drunk girlies when you are also drunk is honestly instant best friends. So just actually ask for their phone numbers, their Snapchat, have fun. It's like Girls Against the World when you go out to the bars. It really is. So make some friends. If you don't like the bar, coffee shops also work. It's a really fun place to meet girlies. Thrift shopping and going to the coffee shops and doing things like that definitely are good ways to meet girlies with similar interests. I just like doing the bars as well because I'm awkward. So social, alcohol helps me with those social interactions. Sign up for clubs doing activities you enjoy, like community centers have fun classes, like learning how to crochet, things like that. Clubs at school if you're still in college, things like that. If you're signing up for things, doing activities that you enjoy, you're definitely going to meet someone you have common interests with because they also enjoy it. So don't be afraid to do things alone, basically. Don't be afraid to go to these events alone because you're going to meet people you enjoy, and just take advantage of like activities that are held that have things you're interested in, whether that's like puppy things that are going on. I know we have a lot of animal events here, like I mentioned, like crochet classes or things like that. You're going to meet people with similar interests. Ask your friends if they could like all bring one friend that's not currently in your friend group, and you also bring a plus one, and you can have a girls' night. So even if you just have one friend, they bring one friend and you bring one friend that you don't already know, and then that's 4 people, and you all didn't currently know each other, and you're expanding your friend group. And it can be kind of awkward, but it's not. It's kind of like a way to expand your friend group without having to do too much, and then you're making more friends that are already probably going to be good fits, because if they're friends with your friend, then they could potentially get along with you very well if you and your friend are similar. So I don't know if that made sense. It's just like everyone in your girl group, even if it's just one other person, brings a plus one, including yourself, to a girls' night or to dinner or anything where you guys can just chit chat, get to know each other, and mix and mingle your friends. Reach out to old friends you may have lost touch with. So friends from high school, friends from college, if you've already kind of lost touch with those girls. Friends that you didn't necessarily end on bad terms with, you just kind of stopped talking to. I know I have those friends, and it can be really, really scary, but an Instagram DM goes a long way. My go-to is to comment on people's stories and just be like, this looks so fun, like, hope you're doing well, or things like that, and genuinely mean it. I won't do it unless I mean it, but if something comes along and I'm like, wow, that does genuinely look fun, I miss this person, I hope they're doing well, I will slide up and be like, yo. And that is how I have gotten back in touch with some of my best friends, like people I wasn't even close with to begin with, and then we reconnected and we're super close now. That is how I did that, by reaching out to people I may have lost touch with. So definitely don't underestimate the power of reaching out to old friends. I feel bad because there are people I reached out to and then we never actually met up because life just got busy. So RIP if you're watching this, so sorry. I'm just the worst and I'm horrible at responding to text messages. I know, I'm so sorry, but I still think you're the coolest person ever and I would love to reconnect. So that's my apology now. I'm horrible with communicating. I know. A fun one that isn't necessarily meeting new friends, but it is because you're meeting their friends, is visit your friends that may have moved away and go on a fun little adventure. So like I mentioned, my best friend moved to Alabama. I have not visited her yet, but I plan to do it at some point. We're going to Miami together, and I know some of her friends from Alabama are going to be there, so I'm really excited to meet them. But this is a fun way to make more friends. Yeah, they live wherever your friend lives, but it's still good to have friends, period, you know? Like with social media, you can still comment on each other's stuff and like talk to each other all the time, FaceTime. It's a good way to expand your network, and it's probably not the number one best way to make a new like best friend that you can hang out with every day, but you're still making friends even if they're not right next to you, and you still get to see your good Judies who may have moved away and explore a new city. Reach out to people in your community. So what I mean by this is girlies in your neighborhood. One example is the network of girlies who podcast is pretty large, like who have small podcasts. So I can definitely reach out to people in my community. Facebook groups is another good one. We have a neighborhood Facebook group. We have one for just ladies in my city. There's podcasting Facebook groups. There's Facebook groups for anything. Just be careful who you're talking to. I have met some of my best friends on the planet, like 100% best friends, through groups of like people who just got together and have common interests. Ours was specifically for One Direction. Truck just freaking went off. Like, go off, queen. Okay. But yeah, be careful with meeting people on the internet. Obviously, I know that can be catfishing, that can be rough. So take that with a grain of salt, but I will say I have met some of my best friends on the absolute planet through the internet and through social media, so I wouldn't say that it's definitely all bad at all, and I would recommend doing that, especially if it's like girlies in your city, because it's a lot easier to meet them like immediately. Don't go by yourself, meet them in a public place, things like that, but good way to meet other people that have similar interests or are in the same area as you. This one is kind of like niche, but go to a book club. We love a good book. There's book clubs everywhere still. I know they're out of touch, but book clubs, we love them. We love reading. We love other girlies that love reading. And I feel like they definitely get you in touch with like women that have similar interests for sure. If you don't know anyone who currently is doing a book club and you don't know how to start one, then girly, you should be the one to start one. Post it on your Facebook, post it on your shows and be like, hey, I would love to start a book club. Does anyone want to start one with me? And if your own like circle doesn't get any traction and enough people aren't interested, then join like a Facebook group for your city. Like I said, like the ladies group that we have for our city specifically has, I've seen like so many book clubs and other clubs started on there, so you can always start one on there, and I'm sure you'll find women who are happy to start that with you. Another kind of niche thing is workout classes. You can sign up for workout classes that you enjoy, whether that's yoga, cycle bar, all the other different workout classes that I'm forgetting. I feel like for the most part, they're primarily women from what I know. And if they're not, I'm sure that you will definitely at least meet one other woman in your age range, probably. I feel like a lot of times it is the women in their 20s that are taking advantage of these classes. So yeah, go to workout classes, meet some girls, ask them if they want to go to lunch after, if you're doing like a morning class, or dinner if you're going to a later class, and make some friends that way. I used to go to classes with my friends a lot. I've never met someone through a class. However, I think this would be a great way because there were a lot of women the same age as me in these classes. I was doing campus classes, so that raises, obviously they're going to be within that 4-year range if they're on a college campus. But if you're still in college, go to those classes. They're so fun and they're very easy and they're free. And if you're not, still try some classes out. Find one you enjoy. I know I just was catching up with some people I hadn't seen in a while, and they said they've been going to Pilates classes and they have a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, don't be afraid to go alone and meet some girlies and make some friends. Go to events in your city. There's always something going on in your city, and I did not take advantage of this. I still don't think I take advantage of it enough, but I definitely didn't until like a year ago. There's always something going on. There's always something like a market, whether it's a flea market. There was a crystal market going on last week, vintage thrift markets, bar events. There's always a new DJ, or they have like glow events, or ours had like paint one time, like glow paint party thing. Campus events, if you live on campus, there's literally always a campus event going on, which means free food. There's just so much going on in your city that you probably don't realize, but if you just go on Facebook and scroll through events, you're going to find one. And it may be a little bit harder to meet friends at like a festival than you think, but I know at flea markets and vendor events like that, I have definitely made friends with the vendors because if they're selling something I enjoy, like a lot of homemade stuff, I really resonate with them because I make a lot of things for fun. So you'll make friends that way and say, follow them on Instagram, and then you can start supporting their business. And then, the more that you comment on their stuff and the more you talk to them, the more you'll become friends. So you're supporting a small business and making a new friend. But those are always fun. For the bar events, I probably wouldn't go to the bars by myself personally. So I would definitely go with one other person, but it's a good way to make more friends because standing in line to get in is a good way to make friends. Once you're in, everyone's talking to each other. Everyone's having a good time. Like I mentioned, the girls' bathroom is a good place for girls to make other girlfriends. So, yeah. One place I have made so many friends is the dog park. Not even kidding. If you have a dog, go to the dog park. Obviously, read reviews. Make sure it's a safe dog park. Some dog parks have issues with, like, aggressive dogs, and the owners there are just not known to like watch their dogs, or they don't take responsibility and oftentimes will blame other dogs. So know like the vibes of the dog park you're going to. And I know for us, we have one that has a lot more people that are in their 20s that go to it versus the other ones where it's primarily older people or families. So kind of do some research, but it is a great way to meet people, and it's really easy to talk to people because it's just like, hey, oh my gosh, your dog is so cute. What breed is it? That's so cool. When did you get him? Oh my gosh, I love that. This is my dog. It looks like our dogs get along really well. We should have a dog date sometimes. Do you like coffee? Oh my gosh, maybe we'll go on a coffee date one time. Like, see how easy that was? Dog parks. Let me tell you, and people love when you ask them about their dog. Genuinely. I love when you ask me about my dog. Ask me about my dog anytime. Dogs. I have two dogs. Ask me about them literally anytime. And I will stop what I'm doing to tell you about them. People love talking about their animals in general. Ask your boyfriend or girlfriend if any of their friends are in relationships, and if so, can the 4 of you go out to din together or hang out? So, I've done this before. I've asked Josh, like, hey, do any of your boyfriends have, like, solid relationships with girls that they've met, like, not fresh relationships, because, like, you never know how that's going to pan out, but do any of your friends have, long relationships that have lasted with, like, solid friends that you think I would get along with? Yes? No? Cool. Let's hang out with them. And I have done that multiple times. It's a great way to make friends, and like Josh already is friends with like the boyfriend, so like it's not awkward really because they're just talking, and then like it's like, oh, they're talking, cool, let us talk, you know? So that is a good way to take advantage of your boyfriend or girlfriend's relationships and kind of join the group if they want you to. Like, if they want to have their own friends and you want to have your own friends, like, that's fine. But I think Josh would like it if I was friends with like his friends' girlfriends, because then it would give him an excuse to hang out with them more because I'd be hanging out with his girlfriend. So I think it's a win-win, but you know, always ask and make sure it's fine. This is more of a joke, but I've made a lot of friends through trauma bonds. So trauma bonding, guys, it's the friendship that keeps on giving. If you go through any trauma with anyone, they will be your best friend for the rest of your lives, and that's not even a joke. My closest friends are from trauma. Us going through trauma together. Let's see. Intramural teams are fun, or campus teams. That is another way that I made a lot of friends, is I joined the dressage team at UK, which is one of our athletic teams, and I got on council. I got super involved. So definitely don't underestimate campus teams or intramural teams if you're already out of college. That is a great way to make friends. People are usually wanting to make friends if they are on those teams. I found that's the main reason people do it. And if you have like a significant other, you guys can do it together if it's co-ed. So you guys can both go make some friends and then you don't have to go alone. You can also get one of your friends to go with you, and then you both can make friends together. Just make sure you're being open and talking to people you don't already know instead of like just talking to the person you came with all night. But I did make a lot of my friends from joining things on campus, like different events. So on that same note, all of my friends I've made in my adult life, I've met from going out of my comfort zone. So I've made them from joining a sorority, joining sports teams on campus, work, asking my boyfriend to hang out with his friends' girlfriends, new roommates I didn't know previously, which I don't recommend. I didn't really have a choice in getting a new roommate, but I'm fine with it because I loved her to death. She's one of my favorite people, honestly. Like, she's so cool. But I don't know if I'd go into a situation with like a random roommate. I did it before and it didn't work out. So like, you know, little disclaimer there, but I did make a really good friend through getting a new roommate. However, like I was saying, if you don't go out and make the effort to make friends, you're probably not going to find any. They're not going to know to become your friend if you're hiding at home all the time and just kind of hoping someone comes along. You need to get out of your comfort zone and have a little courage, be brave, and make some effort, go through the steps of making friends. So with that being said, let's grow our social circles together. If you need a friend, know that I'm literally always here and I will be your bestie gal if I've ever. Reach out to me whenever. I would love to be friends with you. I'd love to be mutuals, and I'd love to talk about all things under the sun. I literally love to just talk. So let's talk about anything. It does not bother me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I love you all so much. I'm in a very good mood because I took like a 3-hour nap before this, so go team. I'm probably not gonna sleep tonight though. But if you are not already, don't forget to share this episode on your Instagram story. Tag me at thatgirlthepod and I will repost guys. And I will repost it. Also, follow me on TikTok at thatgirlthepod for more like sarcasm and satire and things like that. I'm trying to post on there more. Don't forget to follow or subscribe or collect or whatever the word is on the platform you're on. It would mean the absolute world to me. And lastly, don't forget to leave a rating or a review. It takes about 0.1 seconds and it can change my life because reviews just blow the podcast up and we get more girlies joining our community. Like I don't think I mentioned it in this episode, but if you want to join a community of girlies that are all working towards becoming the best version of ourselves, whatever that version is to you, so whatever your definition of that girl is that you are working towards, we are non-judgmental. We are willing to help you and grow this community together. Go ahead and join us. Follow us on all the things. I have all my links down below, and I would love to have you join us. Don't forget to check out my Etsy if you want some cool retro-y year. Other than that, I hope you have a great night if you're watching this on a Sunday night. And if you're watching this at any other time, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. I upload every Wednesday and Sunday, and I will see you in my next podcast episode. Bye, guys. Love you.